Can we start now? Are you done?
Yes. I didn't know you were recording already, Jack.
Hey guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. I'm Gugu and I'm here with the love of my life.
Kearabilwe
And we are
your favorite queer couple.
So today we're doing a video on us reflecting on 2020. Yeah. So we just wanted to do a reflection, kind of also just for ourselves, just to think about the year.
Yeah.
How we feel, you know.
And moving forward as well.
Yeah.
What are from the lessons and the experiences that we had, what are we taking? How are we taking it, maybe?
So we're going to first start with a reflection of 2020, then we're going to say what our mindset is for 2021, and then end off with what are we going to do better at in 2021, just to end on a positive note. Yeah.
I agree.
So let me start. Okay,
sure.
So for me in 2020 was really like eventful.
Yeah.
And when I think about it, even if I take out the fact that a pandemic was happening, I still feel like it was so eventful, which is like wild to me, because a lot of the reasons why everyone keeps saying, oh my god, 2020 was a lot, is obviously the pandemic. But also, if we take that out, there were still so many things that aren't necessarily linked to the pandemic that I'm like, yo, this year was very overwhelming and a lot was happening. For me, it was like your flatmate drama. Like that was the beginning of the year, even before it was a pandemic. There was that, like there was so much conflict. I feel like I had a friend break up with someone I've been friends for ever. Like for how long? Wait, let me actually calculate. Since 2012,
so like
2013. I'm like 2013. That's like 7 years.
So 7
plus
years.
Minus 7 years.
Yeah, it's a long time.
Of a friendship. Is it 7 or 8, whatever. But it's so odd. There was just like conflict that came out of nowhere for me. And then what else? Oh, there were still positives. Like for me, I felt like because we couldn't really physically be together, there were some relationships of mine that actually grew and became better and improved. Like my relationship with my mom, I feel like because you couldn't rely on just seeing the person, and you were more intentional in terms of like actually calling them or actually asking them how are you, actually having conversations, just actually trying other ways to connect.
That's true.
So just checking up on each other quite a lot more than we would in a year without a pandemic. So I mean, I feel like that made us closer. Like over the years when I was at varsity, I mean, we would speak like once a month or once in 2 weeks or whatever. Like let's say that she has something to say or she needs to call me about something, there'll be a reason, like, oh yeah, I wanted to send this, when should I send it, or I wanted to ask you something, like a reason. But like this year it was just like for no reason. We would still call each other just to check on each other as human beings, like how are you, what's going on in your life, how are you coping. So I feel like that really did make us closer. Also I had longer phone calls with my gran. Like we would actually just chill and chat for like hours and hours. Whereas in another year we wouldn't, just because she's a busy girl and I'm a busy girl.
Busy girl.
literally. So it was just like there was but like this since the lockdown, like she was forced to kind of stop working every day, and like she would have to stay at home also just to keep herself safe, obviously because she's older. So she would stay at home a lot more. She wouldn't go to church anymore. So she had time on Sundays. So we would just talk for hours on a Sunday.
That's true.
Whereas normally she'd be at church. You know what I mean?
That's true.
So those, for those reasons, like I got to get closer to. I mean, I'm already close to my grandma, but we got closer because now we had more time to just chill and chat for hours, which is something I only remember us doing when I was younger, when I lived with her. You know, we would just obviously have free time to just chill and chat about absolutely nothing, but chat anyway. So that's like something that those are good things that came out of this year.
That's good.
And then obviously the pandemic was just a lot mentally for everyone. It's just like living in a constant state of anxiety. It was a lot. Just like the news was so overwhelming. At some point I think I switched off from the news because I just couldn't, like, not every day bad news, you know, which was kind of obviously this year you would just be hearing about the infection rate, the death rate. It was just like mentally, like we're just grieving constantly, and then while you're grieving you hear about more news. It was just, that part obviously was a lot. I'm obviously grateful that I didn't lose anyone really close to me this year.
Me too.
But just the collective grief. It was a lot. And sending strength to anyone who did lose someone close to them. It's a lot. I don't even know what to say. Like, there aren't even words to say to people who have lost so much. There's just no words except like I'm sorry and sending strength to you and love and But in general, like this year for me was
last year.
Oh, sorry. Last year, I forget. But last year was very, very eventful. Like good. There were moments of good things happening, but it was also just like a lot. I'm grateful that it was literally the first year that we actually lived together as adults. Not in like a res or like a university bubble.
But
we were just like living together in an apartment, just us. And that was I enjoyed that.
Me too.
A lot. I enjoyed that. Like, that's really one like great thing that came out of it. We lived together. We became plant moms for the first time.
3 plant babies.
3 beautiful plants.
And they're growing, guys.
So much, honey. Green fingers. This one, not me. Her. And then what else? We became plant moms. We spent so much time together.
A lot. Literally.
So much time. We really spent so much time together. Also, because we couldn't see other people. Only towards the end, maybe we would meet up with friends.
But still, we would be together.
Also, we got to spend time with Smeme and Lolo, which I'm so grateful for.
I think that friendship grew
this year,
exponentially, like crazy.
They are another queer couple, and we spent so much time with them. We went on like double dates. Well, we didn't call them double dates, but we were just chilling as friends. Double dates. And that was nice. That was very nice.
For our
enjoyed
relationship
that.
as well.
It was nice.
And to grow and
to learn from other people.
You know, to get that validation.
To also vent about certain things.
And in a safe space where you know that these people won't take it like, ooh, there's problems there, but for people to
that won't judge you, they'll just laugh with you and
be
give
like,
you advice.
Us too, or we went through this at a certain time, or
you know what
I mean? And I hope we
nice.
did the same thing for them.
I think we did. I mean, I think so.
And then
I really enjoyed that part. That was actually such a
it was so organic. Like it was. I think this 2020 was the perfect year for that to start, and I just see it growing into honestly. Bona, I'm manifesting it. Trips, travels. That's how I see it.
So in a lot of ways, it was a painful year for me. Like, honestly, I feel like I haven't dealt with my friendship, with my friendship breakup properly.
It was a big one.
But also, how do I deal with it? Does anyone have tips? Like, how do you unpack a 7-year friendship ending?
Oof.
I don't even want to start, but I know I have to. I think I would honestly give myself time. Like, even if this takes me a whole year, honey, there is no limit to it. Like, however long it takes me, is however long it takes me.
And you pause.
But also, I feel like we probably still need to talk, maybe, for closure. I don't know. First of all,
Okay.
maybe we do need to talk for closure, because then it's so hard to unpack something that there's no closure for. I mean, it's not impossible.
Would you have?
It's very possible.
Yeah. Would you have a mediator? Maybe.
I have no idea.
I would vouch for a mediator. Just someone who's there to be like, so and so. Do you hear what Gugu is saying? Gugu, do you?
Maybe I would. The only mediator is a licensed therapist.
Okay.
that I would think can do it.
Okay, yeah.
Otherwise, I really think it just needs to be one-on-one. I think also what made our friendship end was also having people.
Okay.
So I just feel like if there's gonna be any closure or any sort of it just needs to be the two of us. If we mess it up, that's fine. That's on us.
Yeah.
It can't be like, oh, but it's because other people spoke. You know what I'm saying? So I would rather if we mess it up, it's just we can only put that on us.
Yeah.
And not say it's because this person said this.
Yeah.
This other person externally.
Yeah. Okay.
So the only mediator is a licensed therapist, I feel. But that part for me, that's what is it?
What?
The low of my year.
Yes, and the high.
I was gonna say low light. Highlight, whatever.
Okay. Oh yes.
The low of my year would be that. Also, obviously the pandemic, but that's everyone's low.
Yeah. And the high.
The high would be. This year I passed, darling. For anyone studying accounting or who knows someone who's studying accounting, if you know what CTA or PGD is, that's what I was doing this year, and I passed. And honey, it was one of the hardest things I've ever done, honey. It was me. I had to, if I will do a video on that one day, if anyone wants me to, but I literally passed something that I had failed in 2019, and going into 2020, that was one of the hardest things to do, like redoing something that you've done before and you failed it, and having to pick yourself up and be like, I can do it, and believe that. It was the hardest thing. Like trusting myself again was such a hard thing. Believing in myself again. Also just trusting the universe that it's gonna help me do it this time was also hard. I was like, are you really? So it was just a lot. It was a lot. That's like the beginning of 2020 was hard for me in that way. Like it was just picking myself up and being like, you can every day I had to pick myself up. Every single day, like going to class, I had to be like, you can. And also because I was repeating, obviously all my friends were gone. All my friends were gone, darling. Yeah. Do you understand? They had graduated and they were gone.
They were working.
So it was just literally on the job. So every day I had to walk into a class where I don't know anyone.
And it's a mess.
All these young, happy people there, you know. Probably my age anyways, but doesn't matter. It was just like they had friends, they were chit-chatting with their friends. I knew one person, I didn't know one person.
Because she was your
flatmate. She was my flatmate a long time ago. So I knew one person, but obviously she wasn't in all my classes, but it was just like a lot mentally. So the fact that I passed it, I was just, that was a highlight. That is a highlight for my 2020 year.
Literally.
I'm just so proud of myself. I'm proud of you. I'm still yet to celebrate it.
Yes, it's coming.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Well,
it has to be big.
Once it's settled in, I don't even believe it's happened yet. So that's why I was just like, it's still sinking in. I'm just still talking to myself. I'm having like my own silent celebration in here first. And then I will celebrate at some point.
I just would like to bring in an interlude for our future kids. Yes, both your mommies are twice UCT graduates. My babies, you can follow any career that you want. But you have to know that your mommies are twice UCT graduates. But
she's gonna tell them this every day. She's gonna tell them this every day. Good morning, twice a UCT graduate. I'm tired.
My kids go, no, I'm gonna be like,
they better know I'm an educated hand. Honestly, it's taking a lot. Like mentally, physically. Guys, there's been tears, there's been sweat, there's been
everything.
You know. Yeah. I've cried so much over this thing. Literally, when I opened my results, I was shaking. And then I saw them and then I just started crying.
Literally.
My mom was like, what's going on? She was like, literally, I told her I passed, and then as soon as I said it, I just started crying.
So you had to hear it.
I had literally hearing it out loud. My brain was like, wait, what? And then me and my brain started crying. Yeah.
I think just for me as your partner, one of the things in 2020 was just being supportive. Can I go through my list and then?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Done talking about me. I took 14 minutes talking about myself.
It was your year. Okay, cool. Like, I'm gonna dress and touch on Gugu's part, but I just want to go through my things quickly. So my lessons and I think the biggest events that occurred in 2020 for me, as Gugu said, there was a lot of conflict, and I think out of conflict there's a lot of lessons and there's a lot of growth that as a person you have to do fundamentally out of conflict, right? So things that happened, guys. I moved 3 times. Like, in this flat that we are currently staying in, that's the third flat that we moved into between January 2020 and June 2020.
Yep.
And within my first 2 cases, I had flatmates, and it honestly didn't work out, you know. I think if you're in a relationship, especially a serious relationship, and you can afford it, definitely stay alone. So that was a big lesson that I caught a thing in. And I think another thing that it really helped and made me proud of myself was in any situation I realized that if I am not happy and I've communicated it and it still continues that I'm not happy, I'm not treated properly, child, I leave. And that was my 2020. My exits were great, and I'm really proud of myself for that. And also, I'm a very frugal person, guys, so I think it taught me to be like, child, sometimes you have to pay to have that peace of mind. That's and true. Whatever, you know.
That's true.
So I think that's why those flatmates were brought into my year to teach me that, and obviously other things as well. And then the second big thing that happened was, guys, I got scammed, guys, on Gumtree.
Oh my God, I forgot. I forgot. 2020.
So I moved into this new flat with Gugu. These flats, they come with washing machines, and I already had one, so I'm like, I need to sell this washing machine. I'm so excited. I'm like, with the money from the washing machine, we'll say we buy a couch or whatever, something. This guy, guys, on Gumtree, he's so forceful, whatever, gets the machine, guys, fake banking.
They send you that fake bank
detail
notification to say they've sent the money.
3,500 rand down the drain. And my lessons from that was, you know, I realized, and Gugu and I were unpacking it, like, growing up as a Christian in the world, it can be very dangerous. That notion of, because I prayed, then I will be fine, or because I'm kind, because I'm good, then bad things won't happen to me. Like 2020 child, I had to grow and snap out of that you know what, you can't control what you get out of people. Yes, I should give out whatever, but be streetwise and don't be shy. Like that man, then when the notification came, I realized that no, man, firstly I told him I want an email, he sent me an SMS. I shouldn't have given him the washing machine before I got an email. But sometimes I realize that I value being so nice to people over having my own back and actually being like, this is business. I don't know this man from a bar of soap. He wants my washing machine, I want my 3,500. So 2020 I had to learn how to maneuver that.
Also, she used to let people pressure her when she's making decisions, and then she'll be like, okay, fine. It's like, never let anyone put pressure on you to make any decision. Do it in your own time. So if someone's like, I'm picking it up tomorrow, be like, no. You're picking it up when the money has reflected in my bank account. That's right. Like, there's no need for people to put, like, don't even, like, as an adult in this world, you put yourself first, always. Your own comfort first. You don't put someone else's comfort before yours. I think that was also the lesson.
And then I started working as well. So started working. Working taught me a lot about myself. I think the first thing that I realized was, wow, I studied for 6 years and then I'm here. Is this really what I worked for? It made me start questioning, and it made me realize that as people, so many times we set our certain goals for ourselves and then we don't know the next step. Like when I was in high school, all I wanted to do was to go to UCT. And I never thought of what after UCT. So my first year of work gave me the opportunity to be like, I know I didn't think about where I'd want to work, what type of job I want to do, but is this in line with that? Is it going to take me there? And even at work, because we're working from home, there were positives and negatives. Learned once again in this space to set boundaries. So I think, setting boundaries and communicating, having not so easy conversations with people about, listen, this is what I would like, this is what I'm getting, how can we find a way to align that, and so 2020 was really forced me to be honest with people, and I realized so I realized that because of how I am, like I'm a very bubbly person, that some people didn't know how to take the serious Kearabilwe. Listen, we're gonna have a conversation now. I'm not fighting with you, but I'm being honest. And also being firm with people that I'm speaking, and if you're not gonna change, I am going to leave. Like learning to have options for myself when I'm not happy, and I think that is a big valuable lesson that I'm taking into adulthood. Living with Gugu, loved it, and I think finally then was when 2020 ended and I heard like when Gugu told me that she passed, I was like, this like the decision that I made at the beginning of 2020 or the end of 2019 was perfect. So I decided that I'm not gonna really like study as much or continue with my exams in 2020, and the two reasons were I didn't get time to grieve my gran in 2019 because I had to focus on school, so I wanted to get time to do that. But secondly, I realized that in a relationship, one person has to water the plants, one person has to be a plant. And for me, intentionally as a partner, when Gugu told me in 2019 and I was there when we found out that she failed, I felt like, you know what, I have to now step back and let Gugu be the plant. And I think that was one of the best decisions I made, because not only then was Gugu, the love of my life, able to shine and grow and to achieve her goal, but even mentally as a person, it gave me time to notice things that sometimes when you're so focused on achieving your academic goals or whatever and always looking down, you miss out on working and growing as a person. And those are called softer skills. But I think my highlight was moving into the flat that we're currently staying in, and then my babes.
Thank you. Thank you for watering me. Thank you.
It's a pleasure. Anytime.
Not anytime. So you're gonna get tired.
I know.
Not anytime.
Even me, I must be a plant.
Literally,
sometimes.
not anytime. No, that's not balanced.
All right, and the mindset for 2021.
Yeah. So we've moved on to our mindset for 2021. For me, my mindset for 2021 is just going to not making restrictive plans or rigid plans or goals for myself. So just being more flexible and open to change, like just leaving room for flexibility. And that's because when I first started 2020, I'd obviously made plans. Okay, this year I'm gonna pass this thing that I had failed, and I need to do this. You have this solid plan that's very structured, it needs to go like this, right? That like when the pandemic happened and then everything was just kind of shifted, school just stopped randomly, it all just like came crashing down, and I think it took a toll on my mental health because I didn't leave room for it, and then it happened. So now I was just falling apart and nothing made sense. I was just chilling at home doing nothing. It was just like, no one obviously could have prepared or thought something like that would happen, but it really took a toll on my mental health. I wasn't coping. It wasn't working. It was a mess. So like now going into 2021, I just feel like I now realize that it's not good for me mentally having such strict and rigid plans for my life and how things should go, because to be quite honest, things never go the way you think they're gonna go. Even without a pandemic, you know what I mean? Like, just things just don't. And for me mentally, now I know to set goals, obviously to have plans and all of that, but like they all should be in like a flexible structure. So if this changes, okay, that's okay. We'll keep it pushing. We'll do this. Like leaving room for that, and just being like, okay, there's still room for things changing because I can't control everything. So that's my mindset for 2021. To be quite honest, like all I know is that I'm going to be working.
Yes.
Don't really know where I'm going to be staying the entire year. I don't know.
And that's
I'll go home and then maybe I'll find a place, maybe I won't. I don't know, and I'm not forcing myself to know. Honestly, the only place I'm going to be working, and then I'm going to be in this relationship.
Yeah.
Those are the solid the rest things. Is kind of like, I feel like, and obviously everyone around me is a bit like, shouldn't you have more solid structure? But I know for me, no, I'm not. I'm just going with the flow for a bit, because my whole life I've always been a structured, very rigid human being, and it has taken a toll on my mental health. So let me try the go with the flow thing and see how that goes.
No, I think for me, like, I second that. So when I started working this year, I enjoyed not writing my exams. Like, honestly, before the lockdown, child, every weekend I was living my best life. Like, because I just felt, as you said, like, for so long while studying, I had to demur myself things. Like, I had to literally be like, I can't go to these places, I can't do this because I can't.
Or even when you were doing them, you feel guilty. You'd be like, should be studying. I should have done that. I should have looked at this.
And now, literally, I gave myself, and I think I'm happy you're doing that, giving myself 1 year of being like, you know what?
Rest. Literally, it's just rest. Whenever your brain is yapping, rest. Yay, rest.
Yeah, and I don't feel bad about that. And I think even because I could feel people at work, they'd always ask, what exams are you writing? What are you doing?
Especially society, external. Like, it's gonna make you feel like you should have your things more together, and more tight-knit. And it's like, no.
Yeah, literally, I told people I'm taking a gap year, and I was very happy with it. My managers, I am taking a gap year.
I said what I said.
Girl, I would take my leave and make it a long weekend, honey. Be like, babes, are we booking that Airbnb?
Yes, we are. Yeah.
You know, but the mindset for 2021, in a certain way, it's kind of similar to Gugu's, but it's like, okay, cool, I've taken my break, guys. I'm at ease. I'm so happy. I'm going in now, and now I have certain things that I would like to achieve, but I'm kinder to myself. Like, I come in being like, okay, cool, what is important? And on my important list or goal list, honey, I can tell you it's only about 2-3 things. Like, I didn't pile it up. I feel like had it been varsity days, I would have come with 10 things that I have to do. Is it now I'm like, okay, cool, I'm going to try this, right? And I'm not good to go, and by trying doesn't mean if I fail I'll be fine. No, it's gonna say I'm gonna be kind to myself during this experience, and in everything that I do I want to be present. So that's why I don't have 1,000,001 things. So it's kind of being like, you know what, the lockdown might be here now, I come back, I know more about it. Like, you know what I mean, I'm more prepared mentally if now I have to stay at home or stay in this flat for longer. So that is me. It's kind of saying this might be your reality for a long time. What would I like to achieve? But then from there, I just prioritize the top 3 things that I would like to achieve in 2021. Yeah.
Next one is, what are we going to be better at in 2021? What are you going to be better at in 2021? For me, it's just, I'm going to be better at being intentional in terms of taking care of my mental health. So in 2020, when I first started, I was really on this, honey. Like, you don't know how I started my 2020, honey. I was on it.
Yeah.
So I had I was going to therapy most of end of 2019. I was going to therapy. Beginning of 2020, I was going to therapy. Different therapists, but then I would also exercise every morning.
Yeah.
And it's really like 10 minutes. It's nothing hectic, but it was just good for my mental health.
Yeah.
I would drink green tea every morning, do some positive affirmations real quick. Honey, when I say I was on it, I'm not joking. I was on it. I would journal regularly. All of that good stuff that you're supposed to do. Anyway, obviously lockdown came and I threw that all away. I didn't even know what was what in my brain. Like, it was just confusion. Did I journal once this year? Well, after the lockdown, I'm saying. After the...
I get you.
No. Did I do my positive affirmations? No. Did I exercise? Maybe once or twice. Like, it was just so messy. Like, I wasn't intentional about taking care of my mental health anymore. And it's okay. Like, I'm kind to myself, and I understand that it was a whole pandemic.
Literally.
Honestly, all I had to do was survive. That was my main, you know what I mean? And that was enough. That was fine. So for 2021, I just want to get back into that.
Yeah.
Even if I'm not putting pressure on myself to journal every day. What is it to talk about every day? But just like being more intentional, doing things, like just checking in on myself. I really need to journal. I know that for sure. I haven't done that in so long, and I can feel it up here.
Okay.
So that's what I'm gonna be better at.
Yeah. Okay. Well, for me, I think first of all, child, I need to get a phone, child. Like,
she needs a phone that works.
So I think I'm gonna be, and the phone thing might be a joke, but it's
not a joke.
Being open to spending money on myself and getting a phone that I love, and then not being guilty about it, not being like, ooh, I should have, I couldn't.
She has a problem, issue that she's working on.
Yes.
It's just like that feeling guilty when you spend large amounts of money on yourself, but all your life you've been spending money on other people. But like now that you're doing it on yourself, you feel guilty. I literally had to give her a pep talk. Being like, listen, you worked hard. This is your money. The only person you should be spending large amounts of money on right now is yourself, because you don't have any children. Like, you have to do this. You've never had a nice phone. Like not like she's had nice phones obviously, but like an expensive good phone that is just like, this is a phone, you know what I mean? Like, you've never, and you deserve that. You have worked hard for your money, spent it on you. I literally gave her a pep talk, and my mom walked past my room. She thought I was shouting at someone. She said, why are you fighting? Who are you fighting with? I was like, I was giving her a pep talk. I wasn't fighting. But
so I'm gonna be better at accepting good things that I can give to myself.
Thank you.
Very much so. And then I want a hobby, guys. I really, really want a hobby. I was thinking about it the other day. You know what? I need a hobby. Now when people ask me, I want to have something nice, like, I play the guitar. You know what I mean? So I'm still figuring out, and that for me,
you can play the guitar.
I want to learn. Maybe I'll do
She has a guitar, by the way.
So I really want a hobby. So being open to trying bits and pieces of things that are outside of the active world. So I'm a person like, I'll try any type of sport, but I want to try something else, like that. And so just newness. I want to maybe try cooking and see if I like different recipes. I want to try quite a few things. So being open and making time for that, even in all of that. Communicate my boundaries. I just want to continue doing that. And then being fine, I think, with understanding that there's no balance. So being fine with what you're saying, with a wave coming at me, child, and then riding that wave. Like, life is honestly the ocean, ladies and gentlemen, and a wave can come at any time,
any moment.
I want to stop.
Any speed. Also,
I want
any heights.
So I want to stop always trying to be firm and being like,
I've got my plans.
No, I want to learn to ride the waves, and sometimes have my bag, like have my own bag. If I have to swim against a certain wave at times, swim against it, but not all the time. So those are my things, guys. If I can get a phone and a hobby, child, I'm good.
2021 will be a success. So those are all our reflections. Please comment below on any reflections that you have for 2020, or any plans that you have for 2021, or really anything that you want to say.
And what is there anything that resonated with you in what we're saying? Alright, guys, so we have an announcement to make. You guys don't know this, but anyway, given that Gugu has passed, it means that we will be living in different locations.
I was like, what announcement?
We'll be living in different cities.
Long distance relationship.
Woo!
What a mess.
Yes.
We'll tell you how it goes.
It's gonna go though.
It's gonna go. It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen. So obviously, in terms of the channel, like, we're still thinking about what are we gonna do to make it work. Doesn't mean we're gonna mass film, and then half edit here, half edit there, because Gugu's the only one with the Mac, honey. And so in terms of that, please be patient with us. In terms of finding our feet in 2021.
It'll take us a minute. You'll see,
because obviously when we're together, we want to like enjoy the time and maximize it. But we have put in so much effort so far, and we're excited. We're seeing that the family is growing. Still road to 1K, and I'm a firm believer that once you hit 1K, something happens. So yeah, but be patient with us and watch out. Like, I really do feel like it will give us an opportunity to bring something new to our channel.
Us being a part will give us an opportunity to do something new.
Yeah, something fresh. Or we might bring nicer content because we might invite you into snippets of the things that we're doing when we're spending time. Like, maybe we travel more when we're chilling.
Yeah.
I don't know. So there might be more vlogs.
Yeah.
You know, and obviously we're going to try as much when we're communicating to be honest about where we are and how we're feeling about a long distance relationship.
Yeah.
You know.
It's gonna be a lot of visits.
Yeah.
A lot of
a lot of travels in between.
Yeah. Hopefully.
We pray for that.
Yeah.
They keep the borders open. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm excited.
I'm also kind of excited, but I'm scared. But that's normal, you know.
Yeah. I think
I'm just positive about it.
And I think for me, why I'm excited is from the day that Gugu and I met. This is a moment that we've been working towards. Like, because we met at varsity, we were working towards you graduating, me graduating, us going to work. You get what I mean? So that's why I'm kind of like, I'm excited to see where this is going to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll see. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Share with everyone you know. And then what?
And if you haven't made us your favorite queer couple, make us your favorite queer couple. Was it 2021? Let's do this.
All right. Bye.